we go. We are on the final episode for transportation for the month of February on getting around, how to get around as you're coming into the world of adulthood
Right.
in the big bad world. I'm Jenn Lin. This is Debbie. Say hi, Debbie.
Hi.
And welcome to the unpopular playground. And this episode, we are wrapping up our final thoughts. And I'm going to let Debbie start off.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be talking about navigation and safety. This is just kind of a conclusion of everything that we've talked about in the last 3 episodes. Navigation and safety. This involves using tools, rules, and practices to ensure safe travel and avoid hazards on land and sea, with key principles including following regulations, maintaining a proper lookout, and ensuring proper equipment. This can involve using modern GPS and apps for route planning, but also understanding and obeying traditional navigational aids and rules like a vessel's starboard side, which is the right-hand side of a boat or ship when you're facing the bow, which is the front, in a channel or highlighted by sources like Boat Ed. These are journals, and you can look these up when you go on a boat, and you'll be able to see the different rules. Key principles for navigation and safety. Maintain a proper lookout. Very important. Use all available means to detect other vessels. And this is not so much when you're on a cruise, but this is like, I have friends that have boats. And if you want to go, you're going out on a lake or whatever for the day, you want to make sure that you have people looking out so you can detect other vessels and hazards, especially when visibility is restricted, fog or whatever.
Yeah, or jet skiing. Because jet
Yeah.
skiing, you're kind of on your own. You'd have to kind of know your direction and look out for things.
Yeah. Obey regulations such as keeping to the starboard right side of a narrow channel, as explained by Boat Ed. Reduce speed in poor visibility. Slow down when your vision is obscured by fog, bridges, or sharp bends to allow for safe stopping distance. Use navigation aids. Understand and use navigational symbols on waterways. For example, buoys and markers to identify channels, hazards, and regulated areas. Plan your route. Consider both travel time and safety, as faster routes may have higher risk. Ensure your equipment is functional. Have the proper safety equipment, such as life jacket and lifeboats, for your vessel, such as personal flotation devices, fire extinguishers, and sound producing devices, according to the guidelines from a YouTube video on essential tips for safety and effective navigation.
Nice.
Tools and technologies for navigation and safety. GPS and smartphones. GPS and apps like Waze provide directions, real-time traffic updates, and alerts for accidents and closures. Modern systems can include electronic tracking tags and position locators to help with navigation and traffic management. VHF radio, stuff that, people think is obsolete. It's a piece of safety equipment, especially for communications at sea.
Yeah.
Chart. While electronic systems are common, paper charts and the knowledge to use them are still essential backup tools.
I jump in on something, Debbie?
Yeah.
It made me think of at Christmas time at Long Beach. They have where you can drive the little boats to go see the Christmas lights along the canals of where the people live.
Yeah.
And you have to drive the little boats there. And this would be definitely applicable for that. Or
Oh,
if
yeah.
you rent boats at either in San Diego or the harbor that they just let you take a boat out for the day. This is all perfect for that.
Yeah, because people, when we're saying, the charts, it's like these are the paper charts like you see on the real big ships. It's not a map. It's actually actual charts where you got to follow all this stuff. So you really need to know if you're going out on a boat net, You definitely want to take a course on learning how to read charts in the water because if your GPS goes down, you're going to be stuck in the middle of the ocean and not know which way to go.
Because a lot of young people might think, well, I don't own a boat. I'm not getting a boat anytime soon. But a lot of times you can go to these ports, Long Beach or San Diego, Newport Beach,
Right.
or anywhere along the coast, and they have recreational vehicles or group things like where, they're almost kind of like little party boats,
Right.
and you drive them yourself, and you have to have some sort of sense of direction
Yeah. Well, my thing is like,
and know about this stuff.
you may not have a boat, but what if you're out on a boat with a bunch of your friends and they all get plastic and all of a sudden nobody really has a sense of direction and they're so drunk that they can't drive the boat and that and you're the only one there that's like, okay, it's all up to me now. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that's why you should definitely have peace of mind that you can do
Mm.
this in case of an
And
emergency.
take over in case you need to.
So that's why you need to take a course, learn how to read a chart, and be able to drive the boat. Make sure you know how to drive a boat and make sure you know how to read the chart so you know which way you're going. Because when you're in the middle of the ocean and there's no land around you, there is no way to tell north, south, east, and west. Your safety as well as the safety of everybody
Well,
on the.
and then even if you have a charter thing with the captain that's driving the boat, something could happen to him. What if he has a heart attack?
Well, that's what
What
I'm
if something happens to them? The people
saying.
you think, oh, I don't need to worry about it because these are professionals that are driving it and we don't need to worry about it. Yeah, you don't know what can happen and you might be the savior to everybody's day, especially your own, by knowing all this information.
Right. That's what I'm saying. For emergency purposes, you need to know. So, yeah, while electronic systems are common, paper charts and the knowledge to use them are still essential backup tools. So, don't ever get on a boat where you're relying on other people to do all the work and get you there and back safely.
Yeah.
Basic maritime safety consideration, regulations. That's a biggie. Just like on the road, there are regulations when you're on the water. The U.S. Coast Guard regulates navigation and can establish safety and security zones and issue local notices to mariners for important updates according to the Federal Register and U.S. Coast Guard. A significant number of maritime collisions are due to a failure to maintain a proper lookout and take early avoiding action. So notes safety for sea. And basically, that's all I have on that subject. And when you're on a boat and you're caught drinking on a boat, it's the same as drinking driving a car. You will go to jail. So
DUIs can
no
happen.
drinking on the boat. And also make sure always count the people on your boat. You go on the boat, you have 8 people. If you stop the boat and people are going swimming or diving or whatever else, make sure before that boat leaves the spot where you anchored, the same amount of people are on that boat. Don't take off and
No,
somebody that's scuba diving is left behind to be bait for the sharks.
we don't want that.
No. So, I mean, these are all things, it's the same kind of safety as as it is for when you're driving a car. You have to make sure that you're accountable not only for yourself, but for everybody else on board. You can have fun, but also don't be stupid. I've seen enough people on boats where they're so flipping drunk that they're falling all over the place, puking. That's not a fun time on a boat.
No.
On cruise ships, I mean, yeah, that happens. I've heard of people falling overboard on a cruise ship. Now you got to be pretty stinking drunk to fall overboard. But when you fall overboard on a cruise ship, let me tell you, you hit that water, that's like hitting cement. Chances are you're not going to make it. And a lot of times, even if you do, you're pretty screwed up for the rest of your life. Just have fun, enjoy your time and, just follow the rules and make sure you know the rules before you go out. Just like
Yeah.
when you have to take a driving test and you have to know all the rules of the road, make sure you know the rules of the sea. And that's about all I got to say. And don't ever get on a boat. Now, on a cruise, it's different, but don't ever get on a boat, fun boat or whatever, without a life vest because you never know what can happen. And the last thing you want to do is go scurrying around to find a life vest because
Right.
you're doing that, chances are it's going to be too late and you will drown.
And
And
that's even if you know how to swim.
so make sure the minute you get on the boat, put on a life vest. I mean, I know us women, we're always about the tan and everything else, but I'd rather have tan marks than have shark bites all over my body or
Exactly.
be sinking to the
Exactly.
bottom of the ocean.
I
So,
mean,
Jen,
I would recommend knowing how to swim. If you don't know how to swim, you plan on going, you want to have boat fun, at least the emergency safety swimming to know how to float, to know how to keep yourself afloat.
right.
Practice in a pool, because if you do that, that's going to save your life. I'm a swimmer. I taught babies how to swim, and that's the first thing we teach is how to float, that babies know how to turn themselves around and to be able to float on their back.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a life vest, God forbid you don't think about that, you at least know how to float. But like Debbie said, if you wear that life vest, you don't have to worry about it as much. But knowing how to swim is still, I think, important because you have a life vest, you know how to swim, you can swim with that life
Oh,
vest. But if you don't know how to swim, it's going to be a lot harder for you.
your head will stay above water. That's the main thing, you
You
know?
know, you
Yeah.
won't have that peace of mind.
But
Don't
if
be afraid of the water.
Yeah, if you don't have a life vest, people right away panic and they're going to go under. And it's like, even if you know how to float, people in an ocean, I mean, I've seen it where
It's
people
different.
swim, they panic right away. I mean, they're in the middle of the ocean and everybody, the first thing they think, shark, shark, shark. And they start panicking and flipping about and everything else.
And I would say, as a lifeguard, because I am a certified
Yeah,
lifeguard, try and find a flotation device to
yeah,
give to them. Do not go near them.
no,
Let
because
them hold on to that flotation device. They will pull you down,
right,
and then you'll have two dead people.
right,
Do not
right.
go anywhere, and then know how to get yourself out of a thing, out of a grip if they grab onto you. Know how to be able to duck under and release yourself from that. If you find yourself in the water and there's somebody that's panicking, try and find something to pass over to them to grab onto. Do not go near them and let them grab onto you because they will pull you down. That's
Yeah.
what I'd recommend for that safety for water.
And usually they have those rings that you can toss that has the string on it that, you can pull them. Like,
Yeah, the flotation devices, that's the best way.
at least you can get to them with the vest on to get it to them. But yeah, don't ever be a panicking person.
Because you get some people that they don't think about that.
Yeah,
They think about just trying to help. It's not going to be helpful if two of you are going under
right.
because they
Or
will pull you under if they're panicked.
seriously,
Yeah,
knock them out and then reach under their chin and then you can bring them back. That's the only way. You either
right.
got them out or you give them that device. And it sounds cruel, but it's your life or,
It's you or them.
right.
Uh,
You
you know,
want
and
both of you to make it back.
exactly. If 8 go on, 8 go back. Nobody gets left behind.
Right.
The only other things I have is just, again, master your cardinal directions, know your north, south, east, and west, know how to read the maps. The only other thing that I would mention about the safety with driving a boat or a car or in a vehicle, if you're responsible for that, do not drive tired. It's often overlooked. I watched a special saying that driving tired is worse and more damaging than driving drunk. I had something happen about a month ago, 2 months ago, Debbie. I was
Yeah.
really tired. So I did take a little nap in the parking lot, and I'm glad that I did. When I was on my way home, I'm in a lane and I noticed a figure in front of me. It was dark. And I thought, what's this car going so slow for? I'm going to get over. Well, turns out that car was all blacked out. It was sitting still in the lane.
Oh, wow.
Had I not moved out of that lane,
You would
I would have crashed into him. Both
yeah,
of us would have been dead
yeah,
instantly. And that still kind of freaks me out a little bit.
yeah.
Had I driven tired, would I have noticed that car and would I still even be alive? I called 911 and let them know about the situation so that they could quickly get that car removed because there was no emergency blinkers on,
Oh, wow.
nothing that let you know that there was a car inside of the road because it was not a well lighted area. It was on the 91 freeway
Oh, wow.
going back to Riverside. And it was probably like right in the Anaheim Hills area. So it was a pretty dark area. And that still freaks me out to this day
Yeah.
and makes me thank my lucky stars that I took a nap beforehand. Do not drive tired.
And that's a given. I mean, that's something you learn when you get your permit. Don't drive drunk, don't drive when you're under the influence, and don't drive when you're tired. You should never drive when any of your senses are slightly impaired. Those are one of
People don't think anything about being tired though, because that can't be proven. You get in an
the
accident or something like that, your BAC can come up perfect
well,
that you've
yeah,
not been drinking, and also medicine.
right.
Medicine.
Well,
Uh,
medicine, that's what I'm saying. But if you're taking
yeah,
medicine, you're under the influence because for all your blood, they're going to find out what medications. Cough medicine is the greatest one.
but if you're tired, they can't test for that.
No, but
You know,
you want to live with that guilt the rest of your life that you killed
and then
because you
if you kill
dozed off.
somebody,
Well,
that's even worse.
you know, it's like if you're stupid enough to chance driving while you're tired just to get to someplace and you kill somebody, Jesus is going to look down on you and say, "This is what you got to live with for the rest of your life." I
Right.
wouldn't live the rest of my life knowing that. So, I
And
mean,
you'll have to be accountable and you could probably, I mean, it might be involuntary manslaughter, but if you kill somebody, believe me, their family is going to look for justice for their
oh, yeah,
family member
right,
and they're going to want to see you in jail. You're going
yeah,
to pay and they're
because
going to want you there as long as possible.
if you hit somebody, okay, they're going to investigate. Why did you run into them? Okay, so you're not on drugs, not on alcohol, you're not on this and that. So why would a totally sane person slam into the back of somebody? Obviously, you were
Oh,
impaired.
yeah.
Then they will charge you with involuntary manslaughter because you did involuntarily ram into the back of the car and kill these people. You will get punished. And if you're a type of person that believes in God, I wouldn't be able to wake up in the mirror every day. So that would be worse to me than being put in jail.
Oh, yeah. Having to live with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live with that. I just have one more thing, but Debbie, did you have anything?
No, I pretty much covered all of that.
I would just say to wrap it up finally is that when you're going from place to place, you need to think about the purpose of your transportation and consider a lot of things because that's going to change what type of transportation you might want to take,
Exactly.
whether it's for work or travel, just running your errands and local recreation. Because I know what I would love to do is get an e-bike for a tiny little scooter or something like that for just getting around town, just to
Yeah.
go to the store or whatever. I don't want to take my car for that because I can save gas and wear and tear on my car just by taking a little moped or an e-bike.
Yeah.
If I'm commuting, if I knew that my schedule coordinated with the night schedule that I work, I'd take Metrolink. I would do that if I could. If I know some of the concerts I go to are at the Hollywood Bowl, the parking there is insane. What
Yeah.
we've done before, we drive to somewhere in LA still, and then we'd take a commuter bus from there into there, and we wouldn't have to worry about parking or anything like that. And then at the end of the concert, it would take us back to the parking lot. So there's just, it depends on your purpose of travel and what's going to be easier to get you in and out. And then you
Right.
consider the cost. Is the parking easy? What's the cost of parking? What's the cost of the Uber versus who are you going with? Are you able to split the money? Is it easier just to maybe I'll pitch in for an Uber because you don't want to deal with the parking? It just depends. So getting around, you need to think about these things, you know, as far as work, travel, errands. your local recreation on what's going to be the best and safest and cost effective. So those are the things that we just want you to be aware of. And that's
Back
all I have. Yes, we did on transportation. And you'll want to join us next month for what, Debbie? What is
careers.
what is next month?
Next month is finding your career path.
Career path. Yes. So, and we did touch on this a little bit earlier towards the end of summer when we
Yeah.
talked about designing your life with short term and long term goals and things like that. But it's going to be very specific with
Yeah.
because we all have to work, we all have to do
Right.
something to get our bread and butter so that we can pay the bills
This
and live the
dives
life that we
more,
want.
yeah, this dives
Ye-
more into how actually to find your career, how to decide on your career, the tools to use, you know.
What you like to do.
Right.
So
Right.
that you can wake up and enjoy going to work, that
Right.
you love, that it's something you look forward to, not
Right.
something you dread. You don't want that.
No,
And then to try and make that a happy medium between going to something that you love and the people that you work with too. And it's
exactly.
a lot of things. And so we will have a 4-part session. That's a way we're pretty much designing everything now, just kind of splitting it up and unpacking it week by week so that we can give you a good thing on that. And Debbie, it looks like you have something to say.
I just got a news feed come across, and there was a 5-year-old that fell from the window of a Disney cruise ship.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they just
Oh,
reported it on the news. So once again, be careful. First of all, what was a 5-year-old doing, hanging out of or by in any position to fall out of the window of the Disney cruise ship? Where the hell were the parents? These are
exactly.
that's what I'm saying. Protection, safety. People go on cruises, they take their kids and they think, oh, they're free. They can just roam around and stuff like that.
Well,
No.
sadly, a lot of parents are not minding their kids that, working in attractions, at Disney
Right.
attractions, a
But
lot of parents
on that,
just,
reopen
yeah,
this whole thing. I'm just saying,
just
no,
safety.
there's no safety on any boat. You are on a boat with kids. You
Watch your kids.
stick by your children because anything can happen at any time. Kids are curious. They will climb on things to look out, to look over. Just watch your kids.
No, that's true. I only brought that up because I see it all the time.
Oh, I know.
Parents not watching their kids, and a lot of people think that it they're in an enclosed environment. It's the
Yeah.
staff's responsibility,
Yeah.
and
No.
it's not your responsibility. We can only do so much, but you gotta watch your kids,
Right. And
and you gotta look out for
we're-
yourself. Nobody's coming to save you.
that's
On
right.
that note,
We're going to say
stay curious.
stay focused, and we will see you next time for finding your career path.
That's right. Come back next month. Bye.
Bye.